Pretty eventful stuff. Let's see what the girls are doing. This one's gonna be like, you know, more lighthearted. I know there's a sticker somewhere. This'll be fine. Yako might be in danger if she is actually possessed, and again, nothing is leading me to believe that that is not the correct answer, that she's possessed by Michio. The sticker's right there. It's right there. It's a big sticker. Is that like a peacock? What is that? Secretary birds? Are they somewhat peacockish? You know, normally you'd be breaking school rules just by stepping foot in the cafe. Don't worry, the police said we could. I'll be in hot water if you lied about having permission from the police. Remember that. We know, it'll be okay. So, what did you want to ask me? I don't want to ask you anything. I want to look at this goddamn sticker. Yo, it's just, look at those guys. It's just a couple of guys. It's just a couple little fellas. Oh. Sparing Sparrow Bros. Hell yeah. How we doing here? Jackpot. Have we seen anything like gambling? Approach the net. I think the bottle shelf we missed. Morning green possibly could have been... Well, I found one at the park in the morning. In the bright garden, if you won the lottery. Wait until you feel like yourself again. My thought process is... This is gonna happen once Yako becomes unpossessed. The excited detective. It could be like anything. There's always an excited detective. Waiting at the entrance. Clearly I'm missing that one. At the intersection. Park at night. Unique looking playground. Okay. I have to remind myself what I'm on the lookout for. A cafe. I've never been to one before. How exciting. It's pretty smelly inside because of the cigarette smoke, but we do have a file. Coffee shop in Southward Gesu Street, Kurokikyo Cafe's convenient location has made it a favorite of businessmen in the neighborhood. Although formerly a relaxing location where classical and jazz music were played, the cafe has begun incorporating some pop songs into the playlist at the request of customers. Nah, man. The classicals and the jazz. Pop at a cafe sounds weird to me. The most popular menu item is a pilaf served with black coffee, although cream soda topped with a large scoop of ice cream is also a popular choice. Fashionable cafes featuring jazz and live performances were in vogue until the mid-Showa era, when the number of cafes offering a carefully brewed cup of coffee in a relaxed atmosphere began to increase. Many of these locations also have public telephones, making them convenient meeting places. However, they also developed a reputation as hangout spots for delinquents, leading a large number of schools to forbid their students from patronizing them. I guess, but like patronizing. I don't know. I guess I've never really heard it used like that. Stop patronizing me. In recent years, table arcade games have become a big hit, affording cafe installing them a steady stream of customers. Affording cafes installing them to a steady stream of customers. I don't like the clock thing happening here. Where's Mio? This guy looks grumpy. Look at him, he's got a grump face. He's so mad. I'm gonna look at him. Actually, I can only talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him. About my curse stone. Yako, if you would. Right, we wanted to ask you about this. Oh my, a curse stone. An Okami mask. That must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night? Damn, they're of all places. Yako, you're one of them? You're a curse bearer? It was you? Please calm down, Mr. Arashi. Your reaction is too intense, it's kind of scaring me. Sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you wanted to know about your curse stone? What would be the best way to approach this? Flatter him? Intimidate him? Flatter him. It's just a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones. Well, it's true that I almost want to know what intimidate him would have been. Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well-versed in this matter. You're the only one who we can count on, Mr. Arashi. Won't you help us, please? Oh, am I now? In that case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask. Thank you. Let's see. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and 7 Mystery Curse Stones happening now? Oh, taking an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? I guess we could have just intimidated him with the fact that we could kill him with the curse stone. You sound like a researcher, starting your questioning with your subject's origins. Mr. Arashi, you're not the one who triggered the curse, are you? No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with that. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research. Then do you know of the ancient Onmyodo ritual known as the Feast of Shadows? What is that? Something from the occult? Okay. Miss Kurasuzu, you look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise. Curse stones! Arashi, you had one! You had one! And I'm assuming you believe that it maybe did hold its power because you got, like, hit with the visions and shit. In that case, why do you think the rite of and curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone. It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. And he knows for a fact that the thing he's looking into, that he's, like, writing about, is occult adjacent. What is it you want to know? Well, he just got mad because he didn't know about it. Mio, why are you so close to me right now? You may not tell us anything else if we say what we're trying to stop, that we're trying to stop the curse. We need to make something up. Right. Make something up. Well, you see, we just have such intellectual curiosity and, think it could really help your research. I see. Now that you mention it. Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Then how about... I mean, I feel like he probably would want... Like, he seems self-indulgent. Act disappointed could be, like, butter him up, right? Like, oh, you wouldn't help us, we're so sad. But if we can kind of just, like, steer him into start talking, then... What does that record of fate that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection? Oh, I see. That's what you want to know. See, he loves it. Allow me to first elucidate you regarding the author of the Record of Fates. That's a good thing. A special privilege, I might add, since I have yet to publish this in a paper. Yeah, okay. The Record of Fate was written 200 years ago in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little-known onmyoji called Seaman Tsuchimikado. This is important stuff. If nothing else, remember this. Simon Tsuchimikado. I've never heard of him. Hopefully that shows up as a person of interest. I'm sure you haven't. He was born into a famed onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was most convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fate. Barely exists in records, or so it is written. Huh? As brilliant as Seaman was, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that had never been completed. However, by involving himself with the forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family and eventually found himself in Honjo in Edo. The Record of Fates are the writings Simon recorded on the road to Edo. I see. I mean, I would assume it's pronounced like Sai. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself, but it seems weird to, like, say it like Simon. The Rite of Resurrection makes use of Abe no my specialty. The Taizan Fukin ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul dregs to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that has been called. So he could be possessing someone, basically. Which, I would say could be possessing Najima, but we're also kind of going too deep into Najima just outright being a bad person. Because, like, why would the phone call thing happen if this, like, 200-year-old guy decided to be, like, smarmy about it? He uses soul dregs to replicate the souls of a dead spirit that has been called. Oh, wow, I never knew something like that existed. Let me actually dial it back without thinking things through. He delved into researching the Rite, a legendary forbidden ritual that has never been completed. Upon himself, the Rite makes use of a ritual to communicate with the afterlife. It uses soul dregs to replicate the souls of a dead spirit that has been called. So, I guess that ritual to communicate with the dead might be what brought him to life, and then maybe he was the strong enough, like, not brought to life, but to communicate with the dead, and then maybe he performed the Feast of Shadows. Never knew about that existed. Thus, it is thought the only one who can use it are those with the ability to turn human souls into soul dregs in the first place. Okay, so no, you still had to have a powerful magic user to be able to do that in the first place. So the Rite of Resurrection calls for that ritual to be performed in advance. Then when the soul dregs are gathered and fused with the wish of whoever is performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the Record of Fate in there. There's no more? What about the Seven Mysteries or the Curse Stones? There's nothing written about them in the Record of Fates. The Curse Stones are separate from the Rite of Resurrection. Their curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. So that's not written, that the Seven Mysteries are related to the Rite of Resurrection. But why were we led to believe that it was to begin with? I could see it, like, being just a tool that will help because of, like, oh, well, now the Curse Stones can be strong enough to make people do the dregs to get the right, but I don't know. The curse is one used in their curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. That also would, I guess, imply if Najima has a curse stone that he was not able to do ritual stuff. But do we really think the Aiwei would have been able to do that too? Huh, that's similar to what Mio said, actually. File update. Give it to me. Give me the update. Give it. Yeah. Onmyoji, an officially appointed government position with the Bureau of Onmyo in medieval Japan. Onmyoji were tasked with performing divinations and rituals. They would employ the Chinese philosophies of yin and yang and wuxing, the five elements, to compose astronomical charts and almanacs. High-ranking practitioners used a variety of mystical arts, including ones that brought natural disasters and curses. Onmyoji were also tasked with exorcising demons through the usage of shikigami. Onmyoji thrived during the Heian period, in part due to the work of the famous Onmyoji and later founder of the Tsuchimikado clan, Abe no Saimi. I still think it's Saimai. However, Onmyoji began to gradually decline in numbers after samurai gained control of Japan. At the same time, many of their miraculous arts were lost along with the development of civilization. Although the services of Onmyoji were typically reserved for the upper class, there were a number of shomonji, or hidden Onmyoji, who worked for the common folk. The black magic kind. Did we get like a bunch of notes? Kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo. Symbol extortion scheme. I'm gonna skim this because we basically got this information, right? It is broadly, I mean, it said overview, but it didn't seem like, from what I skimmed, that there was anything new. This might be important. What, I don't know what was new here. Oh, just the bottom part. Again, important information, but it's like more recap. Soul dregs. It converts the souls of the dead bound for the underworld with soul dregs. So yeah, someone skilled has to be the one that does this. But wait, souls of the dead bound for the underworld with soul dregs. Would lead to someone coming back from the dead, like, as a spirit. How would that work time-wise? Because I'm wondering if there's anything about this that could correlate with Shogo dying. Or collecting enough soul dregs and apparently dying. But maybe the curse stone gave him the power enough to do that. How are the 7 mysteries related? He basically said they weren't, but I want to know. Excuse me, Mr. Hirashi? What is it, Miss Kurasuzu? You published a theory before the incident took place. It said that the Rite of Resurrection and the origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo are related somehow. I also want to know if the, like, actual stories with the 7 mysteries connect into a broader story. Like, we have the one, like, the foot washing person that had, like, a sick battle with someone. I'm curious if, like, all of that connects in some fashion. What proof did you have of that? You really know your stuff, but about that. That was a somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines. Oh, really? It was just nonsense then? Not exactly. Rather, it's not a complete fabrication. There is a basis for it. And that is, well, I suppose there is no harm telling a couple students so passionate about this topic. Thank you! This is something I discovered from referencing numerous texts unrelated to the Record of Fate. It was just after Simon arrived in Honjo. There were records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Honjo. A conflict over resurrecting the dead? I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. Okay. This is exactly what I wanted, and kind of what I was hoping from a history lesson. So, I know with the beech tree was like a man came in lying, and then they, like, other people thought this one guy lied and he got hung. That is the only remaining reference. 9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual? I call this tragedy the Honjo incident, and it has long been a subject of my research. And I suspect that this Honjo incident might be the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo. So what you're saying is, the resurrection ritual at the root of the Honjo incident is Simon's Rite of Resurrection? So, I guess he would have... Wait, sorry. Yeah, after Simon arrived in town, a man enticed the public who claimed... So I would assume that means Simon came into town and was like, hey guys, check this out. And then, like, if we go to... I'm not going to do this with every one of these because we'll have to kind of work through them, and some of these we don't even know what the details are. But the, well, the ever-burning lantern was like assassins. The, beach. He deceived us with his so-called Rite of Resurrection. Man who tricked the people with his false dark arts wings from a rope. Is that? No, that's not him though, right? They thought he escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo mansion that morning. The man, local named Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting clasps. He was optimistic. I think I'm misunderstanding something here, so maybe we should just keep moving on and I will figure it out later. Yes, that is how the Record of Fate ties everything together. To put it in chronological order, first Simon brought the Rite of Resurrection to Edo. We can assume that by that point Simon was likely using a different name. Then in Honjo, 9 people fought to the death over the rite, the Honjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being recorded in history fully. How, like, crazy, interested, who would be the interested party? Eventually, it was passed down in incomplete pieces, becoming known as the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, and that's the stories that we know, but then we get the, like, full details when we have the Curse Stone. It's more or less the course of events. Oh, thank you, the course of events updated. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. So that's how they're connected. And if I'm getting this right, the 7 mysteries were basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. How are the 7 mysteries related to the rite? We keep asking you this. And there's more. Huh? With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I become even more confident in my theory. You are? He knew about the lantern. Yes, the reason for it being the resentful memories of the 7 mysteries etched into those who received the curse stones. Resentful memories. Yako, if you really are a curse bearer, then when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted in your mind. Oh, I did! Exactly, those memories are what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Honjo incident. Broadly speaking, they involve dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. Would the Whispering Canal girl, would that really have been a resentment? It's been a while since we read that story, so maybe I'm misremembering how that went. The 9 victims became 9 curse echoes, which over time came to be spoken of as the 7 mysteries, thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Honjo incident. Huh. That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's procession, Yako. Mio, should I? Yeah, I think it's okay. We need all the information we can get. Tell him the resentfulness. Okay, Mr. Arashi, I'll tell you about the memory of the fool's procession. Excellent. So basically, it's about a woman who died falling from a Yagura tower at a festival. Huh, interesting. It's not that one, then. Not that one, what do you mean? Among the 9 victims at the Honjo incident, that is to say, the 9 curse echoes, one of them is Simon himself, or so I suspect. Huh? Simon was one of the victims at the Honjo incident, too? Meaning an Onmyoji as powerful as him also became a curse echo? Right, it would make sense that the cursed stone tied to the cursed echo like that would be special. Power of a cursed stone is different based on the cursed echo. Mio, then maybe with Simon's curse echo we could... Yes, we may be able to settle this whole situation. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing, sorry. So... So basically they are saying that the cursed stone would be really strong, right? Which I feel like would maybe indicate the foot wash one. Was it? It's this she, though. I mean, not much is known about Simon, right? So, I guess maybe Simon could have just been a false name that leads to this. Because it doesn't really make sense that the beech tree one would do the thing. But it also could be a false name. Jinkichi. I mean, I know this is all about, like, lying stuff, which... I'm looking at this too much. Mr. Arashi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far? I have learned a number of them. The Evergreen Beach, the Foot Washing Mansion, the Ever-Burning Lantern, and now the Fool's Procession makes 4. Of those, the most important are the Foot Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach. What are they about? I was right about being questionable about those ones. First, the Foot Washing Mansion. An Onmyoji appears distinctly in this one. Really? But not Simon, I'm afraid. A female Onmyoji who sought the Rite of Resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. Her legs, I guess it could also be the, soap lady. Maybe she really was occult related. Her legs, which she had always taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Simon. So, I mean, that makes sense too, though, that would have been the battle. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary to use the curse. That detective did well to escape this one. So a female Onmyoji and rival of Simon was involved in the Honjo incident. That certainly is interesting. Next, the Evergreen Beach. This curse echo is from a craftsman of Netsuki carvings named Jinkichu who was hanged for spreading baseless rumors. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead. The Rite of Resurrection! Precisely. This man Jinkichi must have been in contact with Simon. I could just collect all of the memories. Everything will be revealed and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine. That is the knowledge I desire. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, I guess. I mean, it says the man who tricked us, the people with the false dark arts, so it's someone who said that they would work, not someone that's like, oh, the Rite of Resurrection isn't cool, and then people hung him because he didn't believe. Like, it is just... Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from the curse bearers. Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with those detectives. But they might not even find the other curse bearers, so I must take measures of my own. What's the trigger for the curse to occur? Another thing. Yes? You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was. Well, I don't know. Really? You're not hiding something from us, are you? It has something to do with how you obtained the Record of Fates, right? How did you really get a hold of the Record of Fates? To tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry. What are you talking about? Someone left a warning that at sundown today they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Najima murders from 20 years ago. What? Something so terrible will happen? I won't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it. Mr. Arashi, please, tell us everything you know. I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. The truth is, I was given the record of fate by a woman. Of fates by a woman. A woman? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I didn't actually see what she looked like. How? 1 month ago, while I was investigating at night, I suddenly heard a formless voice. A woman's voice? It said, I entrust you with the ancient manuscript and the Rite of Resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumors of the ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming month. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet. 1 month, she specified the time period? I mean, this seems weirdly convenient that he just happened to not see this woman. So, I think the obvious suspect would be Soap Lady, but then we have to come into, like, why would she spread rumors that she's like a powerful witch? But also spread rumors about the rite itself. If she had enough power to just kind of like maybe do it herself without anyone's involvement. And a month ago. I was told if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting. I haven't heard anything from the voice since then. It must have had you spread rumors in order to strengthen the power of the curse. To tie together the curse and the desire to see out the rite. This makes it likely that the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all of this. Hence, I went public with the record of fates. Hihaku and occult magazines immediately jumped at the news. Was a financial boon for me. Huh, Hihaku? As in Hihaku soaps? Yeah. So they jumped at the news. Which probably led to them... Which means probably that they weren't involved because they're like, oh, well, let's jump on that. So then I feel like out of... Oh, you got new because of, you're being dead. So woman voice. Yoko's a possibility. I'm still flabbergasted that this, like, is not coming back in any way. I know Shogo's dead, but I don't know. He's on the front of the cover. I doubt it was Haru. It is... Did we know exactly where their, Shimoku Bridge? Okay. Haru's place is near Shimoku Bridge. I'm trying to do stuff. Forgive me. The, Clappers... Okay, so it is close enough, then, that makes sense that she would have gotten it when she did. This is just about, like, a fire that happened. It's important, but... possibility that Haru is a mastermind, but I feel like that's not going to be the case. Shuichi did it. Final answer. I mean, we haven't gotten anywhere with Mayu yet. Like, at all. So I guess that's a possibility. Michio, I think, could be, if we take into account that Nijima and Aiwei might have had that book with them, and at a certain point Michio tried to get involved with something. If we're to believe that she's alive, I think she's possessing Yako. Storyteller kind of made it seem like I'm correct. Okay, the soaps. Right, I mean, no, that's not important. Just some personal business. After that, I waited, trying to predict that what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curse began. Those are all the details I have. Is there anything else you know, like about soap? Very well, I've told you this much, I may as well give you one more thing. Thank you, what might that be? About Simon's Record of Fates. There's a sort of continuation to it, another document called the Record of Fates Yin Scroll. The sequel? A continuation? Actually, a section written in Simon's own hand was appended to the manuscript. According to which, after the Honjo incident, Simon lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. I mean, yeah. It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Honjo incident would turn into cursed echoes and be used to gather soul dregs. It supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the Rite of Resurrection. Really? Hold on a second. Don't you find that strange? What's the matter, Miss Sakazaki? You think my information is inaccurate? If Simon died in the Honjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum. You really don't get it, do you? Huh? Am I wrong? Have you forgotten the ability Simon possessed? Of course not. He could use the Rite of Resurrection. Oh! You're telling me Simon used it on himself? The Rite of Resurrection can be carried out in advance so that it activates when the soul dregs are gathered together. Then is it not possible that Simon himself was resurrected by the rite after it all took place? But he'd still have to collect the soul dregs needed to use the rite. Yes, and that's why they died. The 8 others besides Simon. What? They died in the Honjo incident for their soul dregs? It sounds like it's the same as what's happening now. That's why I need the resentful memories, to learn the truth. I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set. When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone, only this information was left. Supposedly Simon's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations, okay? Do we have any way of trying to pinpoint who a blood descendant is? Obviously someone is, but it seems that over their long history, the 2 documents became separated and the scroll's location lost as the family line branched. How do you know that it says what it says? Simon had descendants, so there's someone out there related to him by blood even now? Yes, in fact, I've tried to trace the line as far as I could. He wasn't a well-known onmyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. Seems likely that the use of the manuscript has been long forgotten, only being passed down out of tradition. And since they aren't even aware of what they have, tracking it down is quite tricky indeed. I wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll. I'm sure you do. So basically, in the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll, Simon himself wrote about ways to handle the curse and the rite itself. Right, yes? Yes, that's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but haven't found a single lead. So if you 2 find out anything about other resentful memories or Yin Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know. File update. It said that Simon, author of the Record of Fate, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descendants of those involved in the Honjo incident might become cursed, and used that collection. Descendants of those involved in the incident might become cursed and used in the collection of soul dregs for the Rite of Resurrection. The existence of the Yin Scroll was indicated in a postscript added to the Record of Fates. But it's where... Okay, is that what he was saying? That he wrote an addendum to the Record of Fates that said that there's a Yin Scroll. Whereabouts are currently unknown. It is believed to have been inherited by a descendant of Simon. This probably just added the... okay, how Arashi got it. Yes, I understand. So... not persons of interest. I mean, you're a local. It says you are a local named Jinkechi. You are not... We are only missing one more file note. So we are definitely getting somewhere. I decided to read through the ones that we know the full story of again, just to try to get an idea of something. It didn't really work out too much for me. Two things of note, the clappers. Where are you, clappers? Why can't I find the clappers? The dude's like on fire, burning, and he's like, he blames her. Must have been the work of that vixen who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord. That witch, those haunting cold eyes, blah blah blah. Who, I was also taken by her. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? Might be related to the Onmyoji here, I would assume. Additionally, the Whispering Canal, the Toki, loved fishing with her father, Jinkechi, who is the name that we see here, the man that was hung. So, this stuff is connected. Yes, I understood, but nothing that really gave me more info that was useful. Thank you for your help. If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. Ha ha ha! Isn't that illegal?